I had an abortion when I was 24. There wasn't anything spectacular or tragic about it. I just didn't want to have a baby. I had just started a new job, moved to a new city, bought a house, and all I saw when I saw that positive pregnancy test was my dreams dying. You know, the moment that I realized I could have an abortion, that I didn't have to have a baby, I felt a huge sense of relief. And then all I wanted was to have the abortion, have it over with, and never have to think about it again, which was a little naive on my part. You know, it's part of my medical history. So, you know, nurses ask me, how many pregnancies have you had? And I have to include that one. Sometimes they say, I'm sorry, because they don't know, but I'm not sorry. It allowed me a beautiful career. It allowed me to have kids when I was ready and happy about it. I live in a very conservative part of the United States, so I did feel very isolated about it for a long time. I didn't tell any of my friends. It felt like this huge, dirty secret. Only recently have I started telling people about it, but nobody's been rude or refused to be my friend since, so that's good. I do think it's important that we talk about the not tragedy stories. I don't think you should have to have like a tragedy or a dire circumstance in order to have an abortion. You should just be able to have an abortion if you don't want to have a baby.
So when I was 23, I found out I was pregnant, and I knew immediately that I was getting an abortion. A pregnancy and a baby were not things I wanted. And as straightforward as that decision felt to me, it became a very weird time in my life. Not because the abortion itself was difficult, because it was actually pretty easy. Access wasn't an issue where I was living, and it was early enough that I could get a medical abortion, so I just took a pill, and I was horribly sick the rest of that day. But after that, it was just like having a really heavy period, and I didn't have any complications or anything. The thing that made it weird was that when I told people who I knew to be staunchly pro-choice, they immediately just lost touch with reality. The father was a boyfriend I'd broken up with before I knew I was pregnant, and when I told him very clearly I wanted an abortion, could he help pay for it, he started using this very quiet voice I'd never heard from him before, like I was a frightened puppy or something. He told me I didn't need to worry. It was okay that my out-of-control hormones had made me break up with him, but would I marry him? And we could be a family and it would all be okay. Ugh. And he was so shocked that after breaking up with him, I wouldn't change my mind and agree to marry him instead. Then, when I told my best friend, he used the same frightened puppy voice. He told me he wanted to have the baby with me, that he could be the father, that he and I could be together forever. And I had to remind him, like, dude, you're gay. You're a gay man. What are you even talking about right now? And when I said no, he was so shocked and hurt and mean to me because I turned this ridiculous offer down. And I was just like, why do so many men suddenly want to marry me? This fetus had the power to override men's political convictions, their relationship desires, even their sexual orientations, apparently. And they just could not hear that an abortion was something I wanted. Looking back, I think they just really wanted to slap me into some classic tragedy where they were in the center as the hero rescuing a woman in trouble, as they say. I just needed money, which was way less glamorous for them. And when I said no, they both felt like my abortion was now something I was doing against them. After those first two reactions, I stopped telling people because, for one, I simply could not handle any more marriage proposals. But two, I just really felt that it was okay for my abortion to be about me, and I didn't want to expand the circle of people who wanted it to be about them. I kind of love that I can't talk about my abortion without laughing. I just think abortions can be so many things other than just tragic. We can definitely cry over them when that's warranted, but it's also okay to laugh about them. Or we can not have a feeling about them at all, and they can just be a boring thing about life that no one else takes so personally. My abortion doesn't need to be about you.